evening, everybody.
Hello. I'm
Welcome.
all up on the camera like that.
Girl, can you take the glasses off, sister?
Oh yes, I sure can. I was gonna read, but yes.
Okay, listen, I can't see either, so we both can't see. It's all good. Um, as you guys know, the Life Happens podcast is a podcast where we combine our spirituality with everyday practical things to create this beautiful balance that you see. As you know, Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and y'all, we can be over the top, but this podcast is about just balance and
That's
Christians
what we
going through everyday things, right?
every day, every day, every day.
That's our topic today. Cheating.
Cheating, y'all. Cheating out there. Boys and girls.
Yo, how about the evangelicals that are, no, we're not talking about the people in church, but y'all know, I mean, if the enemy can get you with sex and money, listen, those two things right there, he gonna get you, right? But I'm excited, Kim, about this topic. I'm excited though that this is you and I today because it hasn't been you and I for a while, and I so appreciate the guests that we have, and thank you so much for joining us when you'll do. But today is just my girl and I, so.
I know, just us having
And our
a little powwow.
our virgin margaritas.
Yes.
Yeah, because we good. We behave ourselves. Do we not?
Try to.
Yeah, we do.
How
So
was your
Kim,
week? How was your week?
my week, what I had some doctor's appointments. So it was a little bit hectic, but not so bad. Because let me tell y'all, I can work anywhere, right? And so I was like in doctor's offices just working while I'm waiting 3 hours to be seen. Because you
Wow.
know when you go to the OBGYN, they deliver babies and then they got, woman appointments. So I was like looking at these young ladies and thinking, oh, I remember those days. And I thank God that I'm over that because, child,
I know. I
who
know.
does not want to have any more babies is me. Okay.
No, no more babies.
I,
None. No more. No more.
yeah. Yeah. So before we get into our topic, well, what did you do this weekend?
This week, I am still trying to learn how to swim. Mm, Still kind of hard for a sister at 55 trying to, learn how to trust the water. But one thing I did realize, and this right here was something that I realized was that I had words spoken over me about water and how dangerous water was when I was little that I hadn't realized because I couldn't understand the unnatural fear I had of water. Like it just wasn't really natural to have that kind of fear. So I had realized some things that my mom had actually said to me when I was younger, when I had asked to learn how to swim. This memory just kind of came back. And one thing my mom said, like, oh, you can't learn how to swim. If you get in water, you'll die.
Oh God, that's heavy.
So I actually remember her saying that to me. And I'm like, and as a kid, you kind of like at 8, you're like, okay, okay, oh yeah, okay. And then so you never learn how to swim. So I think at that time, and even as grown, I just kind of adopted that. Like, oh no, I can't. Me, no, I can't swim. 20s and 30s. Oh no, I go look cute at the beach. And cute little bathing suit sitting in the sand, but don't touch the water, right? So me actually getting in the water and kind of crying in the water and just kind
Wait,
of
no, wait, you're crying now in the water?
yes. I mean, when I'm in the water trying to swim and my teacher is trying to teach me and she's asking me to like water is your friend, it's really not your enemy, just kind of step in, touch the bottom. I'm fearful. I am like seized up.
These
And
are
yes, so working through that and working through all of the word curses that were spoken over me, which I don't think my mom really meant it to be
she did.
harmful. She was doing it to protect me in her own way.
She
But
mean it. She mean it.
but I had said yes to it. So I had to break those. After those had been broken off of me, I got some other friends of mine to prophesy over me and speak over me. And when they did, this last time, y'all, I'm not joking. When I got in the water, it was like I felt like fear had just left me.
Oh, that's good.
And it was not like I was like fighting the water. I was kind of like going in the motion and making big strides. And anyway, that was my big week. And I opened my eyes underwater, which I had never done that before. So
Wow, that's a lot
very big week for me.
for you. I'm still gonna learn to swim. I can't swim yet, but I'm gonna learn sometime.
Yes, learn. Yes.
Hi, Felicia. Nice to meet you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I was having a couple of technical difficulties earlier, but I hear you pretty good.
Oh no, I understand. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to
Thank
meet you
you.
as well.
So, guys, today our topic is cheating. Is it objective or subjective? As you know, objective means not influenced by emotions, and then subjective means influenced by emotions, right? So, I want to ask Kim. Let me ask you this: what is your definition of cheating? Because cheating to everybody is not the same.
I know. I know. I'm surprised by that. Like, I don't
You would
understand that.
think that there's like a standard, like a
Yeah.
standard.
Like,
No, ma'am.
I want everybody to think like me. So
Oh
I
God.
think cheating is anything that you do outside of the marriage. I mean, that's like if you are talking to someone and not necessarily having physical contact, but you are engaged emotionally. I think that's cheating. I
Mhm.
think cheating is if you are engaged in watching porn. I think that's cheating.
Hmm.
I think that anything outside the marriage that you are connected to emotionally, of course, physically, I think is cheating. So it doesn't necessarily have
So,
to be, you know,
so you said something interesting. You said if somebody's watching porn, that's cheating. So you mean that if they're doing it outside of your partner knowing? So if I'm hiding and watching porn,
yes,
it's
if
cheating.
you are hiding it from
Okay.
your partner, that is cheating.
So if you in agreement,
If
then
you
that's
if you in agree, if you are in, I was watching this program with Kirk Franklin and his wife, and he was really addicted to porn, and she knew about it, and but she knew that he had to get delivered on his own, but she knew about his addiction to porn, and but he got free from it, of course, but his wife knew about it, knew that he was engaging in it, knew that that was something that he liked. Now when your partner is on board with it, then no. Well, if your partner's on board with you sleeping with other people, is that cheating?
that's a whole different topic. Okay, that's not it.
Is
We are not
it?
even touching upon that. We're not talking about swingers and all that other stuff.
Right.
Let's not go there. Okay, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Felicia, what do you think? What is cheating? What is your definition of cheating?
Well, my definition of cheating is when your partner shares some of the most intimate parts of themselves with someone else. Um, I think that the intimacy with another person. Now, I don't necessarily think porn is cheating because you can actually have those thoughts without the pictures.
You're right.
So it's like, so I understand where she's coming from with the porn, but when you begin to share and fellowship yourself with another person, whether it be emotionally, physically, spiritually, when you're sharing the most inner, personal, private parts of yourself, to me, that's cheating.
Yeah, I agree. I think anything you do outside of your partner knowing, and if you have to hide something with his text messages or whatever, because all that stuff starts with a little conversation, yeah,
Right.
and then before you know, it's like you like, oh, I think I like him. Oh my god, and then you talk every day. See that the danger in talking every day starts that
Hmm.
stuff right there, where you feel like you have to talk to that person. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it creates a bond,
It
a
does.
soul tie in a way.
Hi. We were just talking about soul ties before we came on the show, and talking about how sometimes we say things, and before you know, boom, you don't know why you're thinking about dude or woman or
Right.
whatever, because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's dangerous. And I think cheating too, Kim, is not just for marriages. I think just relationships, committed relationships,
Oh, yeah.
that I don't think we take as serious as we should. But that will really cement, in a sense, how you're going to be in a marriage. Not to say that, well, no, let me not say that, because Kim sent me some statistics that were mind-blowing. Like, do you want to read some of that?
Yeah. No, you're either let me get my glasses back on.
Okay, so Kim sent me some stuff today, and it said one study found that 20% of married men had cheated on their spouse at least once in their relationship, compared to the only 13% of married women. Y'all be, you know what?
Now, Rabia,
Just you anyway. Let me know.
I thought the woman's portion was going to be lower. Actually, I was surprised it was
No,
13%.
honey. Why would you think that?
I don't know. I just
80% of millennial participants engage in sexual talk online with someone besides their partner. So the percentage of married adults that cheat based on age, 18 to 34 years old is 11%, 35 to 64, 17%, and 65 plus, y'all, 18%. What's
Wow.
I thought that was really interesting. Why do you guys think that uh older people like cheat? What is it?
I think it's a lack of knowledge. A lot of, nobody tells you how to be in a relationship. Even if you go through with the pastor and all, nobody teaches you that. I just think that it's just, we have gone away from listening to our elders, talking to the older women, the men, fellowshipping with the men. It's just we're just kind of out there free balling. We don't, in these
Right.
relationships.
So Chief Rocker has a very interesting comment. He said it's not called cheating, it's just letting your emotions out when your wife is acting funny or girl. Huh? I said I need you to elaborate on that, sir.
Wow.
Oh wow. Damon says I thought the woman's portion would be higher. You know
wow.
what? True though. No, but true though, because woman sneaky.
Well, women get a lot more opportunities. Men have to approach the woman, ask all these questions.
True
Women
that.
get approached all the time. That's like we're not out looking for men. Men have to kind of seek and hunt and find these women where it's the opposite for us. So I believe
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
Mm. Woman, you got so much power, honey. Because you get to say yes or no. Mm.
You do. You do.
Um, so my last question before we read the scenario, the Dear Grace segments, and Dear Kim, why do you think people cheat? I thought it was interesting some of the things I read. We'll start with you, Felicia. Why do you think people cheat? Can you hear
Felicia.
us? I don't think she can hear.
I'm here. I'm listening. No. Okay. What did you say?
Why do you think people cheat?
I don't know. I think people cheat for a lot of reasons. Some people, depends on how you're cheating. That's why you cheat. Like some people don't get physical contact in their marriage, so they go look elsewhere. Some people don't get emotional support in their marriage, so they go out and found it elsewhere. I think it's just to fulfill a need that they're not getting. I think
Keisha
that.
said, "Old men cheat because they're tired of looking at what they call that funky yacht." Because what Keisha, they're cheating because when they come home, she ain't dressed right, she ain't looking right. Every day, he comes up from work and she looking like she just got up, like how you look when you left the house. I mean, there's so many reasons why people would do it. But when I was growing up, I want to share a little bit about my culture. In African culture, it's not uncommon for a husband to have a side chick. That's regular, and mothers train their daughters. Don't leave your husband because he has a wife. You better make sure that you raise your kids with this man. You don't leave. Now, I won't mention names, but I have family members that used to go down the street, okay? And when they came back home, they were not questioned. It was like, at least he came back home. One of the things they taught us was make sure you educated, make sure you never leave home. And that's actually very common. And most are educated, they can take care of their families, the woman, but then they will never leave their husbands.
Hmm.
Like, and I'm like, baby, we living in the US of A now. We don't do that. I'm gonna leave your because no
Mm-mm.
one and the thing of it, they even have other families. I know when my dad died, some stuff came. Oh, Lord, let me not talk about my daddy. Ladies, you look great. Thank you. Who is that? We'd like to know who's complimenting us, sir or ma'am. Um, yeah, I've seen a lot of things like where I was growing up that I would not tolerate, and they'll say to me like, "Oh, you forgot your roots." No, I got some sense because no one's thinking about disease, no one's thinking about how it affects your children. So you're raising daughters to accept bullshit and accept that, oh well, I'm just a woman, so I can't say anything or I don't have a voice. But yeah, we don't do that. Not in 2022. So
And
Kim,
that's sad. And that's sad because other countries, they are teaching that. Other countries are. They are teaching that. I mean, in Iran, Iraq, you have these women who are subject, they're just second citizens.
well, I'll say this though, in Islamic culture, when it depends what sect of Islam you're from, right? So you will have literally a contract. You can say, I can be married for 5 months if I want to, and the wife wants this, 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 and this, and they do that. Some people do that, and
Hmm.
it's acceptable. Yeah, like we were raised Sunni Muslim, so it wasn't like that. But if you were like a Shia Muslim, you had a contract
Oh,
that
wow.
I want the car, I want this amount of money, and we'll stay married for this amount of time. And if the woman agrees and the man agrees, they can go ahead and do that. I had a friend that actually did that. She married a guy in Iran, but they're not together anymore. She had a contract. She lived
Oh, wow.
nice, though. She did live nice. But the emotional part of that, it sucks. Okay, Kim, are you ready to read our scenario? Can you get your glass?
Yes. Let's read that scenario. It's a trip, y'all. Y'all gonna be like, what? Y'all gonna be like, no. Mm-mm. All right. Here's a scenario that we all got today. So, um, I have been in a relationship for 4 years, and my boyfriend and I live 3 hours apart. We've always been in a long distance relationship, and I thought everything was fine until recently. He started talking about marriage after we dated 2 years, and he said he would gladly move to Philly to be with me. I got all excited about marriage and I started preparing myself emotionally and financially to be with him for the rest of my life. Then last year, he started saying that the distance was killing him. And
I bet.
sometimes he just wanted to lie next to me and hold me till he goes to sleep, but he can't because I live so far away. Okay, he's starting to gaslight her. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
I thought that he would go ahead and propose, but he hasn't. I started visiting him more, but he made excuses when it was time to come see me a few times. I didn't want us to grow apart, so I did whatever I could to keep the sparks flying in the bedroom. I was visiting him one weekend, and there was a towel on the back seat, and I needed to put groceries in the car. I picked up the towel and it was crusty and stiff, and I'm no fool. So I knew what it looked like. I thought it was incredibly tacky of him to leave it in the car, no matter what that substance was on it. I asked him about it and he confirmed my thoughts. He said he went out a week or so before I got there, and a female friend of him helped him out orally. He said he didn't return the favor to her, but she willingly did him. He said it's not like he cheated and it helped him out because he missed making love to me. I was livid and he kept saying that he did it for us and it's not cheating. I have needs too, but I've never had a quick hookup. And my male friend, is this cheating or not? Should I break up with him? Should I break up with him? Darling, darling, I just want to
Man,
say that. I just want to say that you just found the first thing. I'm sure the man has had other encounters with his girlfriends, right? And this is just the one that you found. So sorry. So sorry.
hmm,
Yes,
this is a
y'all have grown apart. Yes, he's gaslighting you. No, he's not going to marry you. Actually, you could move to Philly. He could move to Philly. It ain't gonna work, girl. Let it go. Drop it. Hot. Drop it.
but see, he talks about marriage and she says that she was preparing for marriage.
She's not ready for it yet.
I don't think she's not ready.
You don't.
I think she would get married tomorrow if he asked.
Hmm.
But I think it's him.
You don't think he wants to.
Not anymore.
No,
You don't think he loves her.
absolutely not.
Yeah, can what do you think, Felicia? She should let this
I
ninja
don't.
go, shouldn't she?
No, I don't think he loves her at all. If you listen up, further up on the letter where you talk about, hey, I miss you so much, but he's refused to come see her. Well, if
Mhm.
you miss laying next to her and you've turned down opportunities to come and see her, then that's already a red flag.
Yeah, because he's
And
entertaining
what is
that one that sucked him off, and other woman too. You know,
I'm sorry, you went
I said he's entertaining other woman, definitely.
But maybe they need to
right. And
define.
honestly,
Maybe they
if
need to
he's
define what
saying
cheating is.
if he's saying that this other woman was a friend and he's letting her know, usually, and I'm just being honest, usually if he really wanted her, he would have lied about the other woman. I'm sorry, he just would have lied.
You're right. He would have covered it up, but he's just saying, screw it. Let me let you know. Maybe he wants her to leave. You guys think that? Maybe he wants
I
her to
do.
give it up. And
No,
then to leave the thing in the car, you nasty son of a gun. You left it in the car. Did he
Right,
want
I
you to
agree.
find it? I mean, did he want it to find it? Like, I mean, was that a plot, a plan, a scheme?
I don't know. Maybe the dude is like, for him, oral sex isn't cheating. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate right now. Maybe his idea of cheating isn't I mean, oral sex is not cheating. Talking to his friends, being emotionally involved, you know, as long as he's not having sex, maybe that's not cheating for him.
Listen to this comment. Keisha says the whole letter is poppycock. Girl, stay with him. Someone sucking his penis ain't that bad. He didn't stick the tip inside the nappy dugout. Lighten up, little lady. Okay, Keisha. So you would stay with your guy if that was the case?
I mean, maybe for him it's not. It's not a big deal for him. He's not in love with the chick, you know? He's not he doesn't feel anything. He's letting this woman give him a BJ, right? Give me a
Right.
BJ and I'm not doing nothing to you. So you just servicing me. So apparently he's not emotionally tied to her in any kind of way.
Tanya
At
says as long as they're
what
not mad when I do it.
of what
Tanya.
but at what point do women stop giving men grace and making excuses for their bad behavior? Because if the shoe was on the other foot and she had someone servicing her in that way, he would be out.
Yeah, men are not gonna stand for that. They are
Nope,
not.
he would be gone. He would be gone.
Keisha said I
No
sure
grace. And
no
we as
man.
women give too much grace.
We do. Tanya's laughing. Ryan has wide eyes. No, because okay, so I don't know why we don't think about disease. Oh my God, you telling me that she just gave you a blowjob? I don't know if that's true. I can't trust you. You could be having unprotected sex.
He could be. But I think she needs to go get service and let him know. Oh, great. We're doing that now? Wonderful.
Right.
Then let
Right.
me go. Let me go get somebody to hook up with. You
Let
No,
know?
yeah, see how far she gets with that.
Yeah. She did say she has male friends too.
but she's not doing anything according to her. Mm. But you know what? Also, Tanya says that because it's only for a good time, not a long time. Girl. True. Okay, let me stop. When you do bring that up, because you're right. I mean, no one's thinking about. Okay, let's not even talk about spiritual because we know about the spiritual side, but just that physical side, right?
Yeah.
The disease side, then an emotional. You're getting attached to somebody, and I think Felicia's very true when she says he wants to get caught. He wanted to get caught, and he's been honest. He's not even hiding it. He don't give a damn about her. He
He
doesn't.
wants her to know exactly who he is, where he is. This is who I am. This is what's going on. Take it or leave it. That's what
Something,
he's saying. The door is open.
yeah, something she said too, though. He talks about marriage, so she started getting financially correct, getting her life in order, whatever, right?
Hmm.
So, but I guess at that point they were good until um he started saying, "I miss you, miss blah 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 blah." But then she's like that he never asked her again. She thought that because he was saying he missed her, that then he would ask her to marry him. So I'm curious to know what changed in that time.
Mm.
Too much time, because it should have been some steps put in order for him to move there. There was no talk of him preparing to come down there.
True, true. Keisha says the oral law obviously didn't even get him to bust. He beat off and got that much. Oh God.
Okay.
Keisha, girl. Oh my,
Wow.
oh my God. I don't know what to say. Tanya said loneliness. That's true. But if you read in the letter, she says though that she turned it up sexually. To me, like, what is the foundation of your relationship? Is it based on that? What is it based on? Because it doesn't really say. And maybe I'm just being naive. I mean, he started talking about we dated for 2 years. Now, hey, hold on, 2 years, eh? And nothing happened, and you living in Philly? Yeah, you full of shit, sir. He got sent.
Everybody is cyber dating this.
Oh, what the?
Everybody's cyber dating now. Everybody is. They're dating guys in other states. Now you get girls that go online, they go, "Oh, I met this great guy, he lives in New York." It's like, okay, how's that gonna happen? How
It
is
doesn't
that?
work. It really doesn't work when long distance don't work. You're gonna have to be down the street. I can't do it. I'm not. Mm-mm.
But everybody is cyber dating now. There's cyber dating people from other states. It is the weirdest thing. I'm like, how does that work? And you make
Um,
time to go visit each other. What is that?
no, I have been in a long distance relationship with my husband, and from experience, I can tell you that it requires a lot of visiting, like more than once a month visiting. Like if you can't see that person more than once a month, it's not gonna work. It's not. At least 2 weekends out the month, y'all need to be spending time together, and that can only be, I would say, less than a year. If anything over a year and you're it's not gonna work. I almost died with 6 months, so I couldn't imagine being away from a person that I care about that long. And when he started refusing to come see her in that part of the letter, I knew it was over then.
Yeah, he said he went out a week or so before I got there and had a female friend. Um, See, when you were making excuses not to come, you were with that female friend or even somebody else. I mean, shit,
Yeah.
we don't. Justin said if it's based off sex, it will not work. Facts. Brian says you made it, Grace and Kim. You have trolls. Yeah, apparently. Um. Okay, let me see. So, and then what I don't like though is that he's telling her that he did this for them. Because I'm sorry, she didn't orgasm. You apparently did. So how the hell are you doing it for both of us?
I
What you mean?
know.
What bullshit is this? What do you mean? You did it for us.
Well, it's the BS she's been believing the whole time, because I'm sure this is not the only crazy thing he's ever told her. Because as you listen to this letter, marriage, where's the ring? You know, let's
You
go
do.
ring. Why we're not talking about ring shopping? Why we're not talking about new jobs? Why we aren't talking about those type of things? You know, why
Exactly.
we aren't talking about making a move to be together?
Exactly.
Uh, Keisha, girl. I've never let a good night go to waste, she said. We should have stayed. She should have stayed and let him skeet in her face. I heard it makes your skin look better. But Keisha, what
Wow.
if it got in your eye, girl? What if it gets in your anyway? Let me stop. Um. Oh my God, Keisha. Damn. Um. My thing, I'm confused about her emotional health because she's asking as a grown ass woman, because you can tell they're not young, right? Obviously. Well, I don't think they're young. Um. Should I break up with him? Should I break up with him? Tanya says it burns. Hey, Tanya.
Okay.
I don't even know what to say.
Stop.
Hilarious. Okay, so should I break up with him is a question.
That's
But
crazy
she
because
knows
it
the
doesn't seem like
answer.
she wants to. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to break
Yeah,
up.
but
That's
she
what she
knows the
wants.
answer.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that emotionally she's not in a good place. She is
Yeah.
not. To me, she's self-rejection, self-abandoning. You're not loving yourself enough. A man told you, "I did it for us," and that's bullshit. And you still confused about whether you should stay with him?
Yeah. That's messed up.
Okay, Tonya says, What the fuck? I thought the breakup happened a long time ago. What veggie the letter was written? Oh, okay. I think she sounds like she's still in the relationship and she's deciding what she wants to do. I hope she's not over 40, Jesus, and asking this dumbass. I hope she's in her 20s. Like they're still
Yeah.
learning life. I really hope this is a 20-year-old woman.
I had a friend that he gaslight this girl, y'all. He told her, "I want to marry you 1 year. The next year, I really want to
And then
marry
what?
you, but let me finish college." He finished college, and then she's like, "Okay, are we getting married?" He's like, "No, let me find a job." He found a job. He was like, "Let me get established." And this went on for like 5 years until she was just like, "Okay,
First
okay, you're not gonna marry me."
First of all, you're not gonna use up my good eggs if I want kids by not
Mhm.
knowing what the hell you want, okay? Because I'm on a time crunch, sir. Okay, I may have three dusty eggs that I need to use, and you're like, "Oh, wait, wait." I'm not doing that. And I think women need to know need to learn to know when it's time to cut it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I truly believe in personal ultimatums, like not to give him an ultimatum, but to give yourself an ultimatum because you invest way too much time in believing what these men are telling you. When you can tell this letter, because she's talking about 3 days, 1 week, 2 years, she's really her time is really invested. That's what she's not
Yeah,
wanting to let go of is all that
true.
time, but she should have talked to me because I am personally wanting to tell you, look, I'm not gonna give you all this time. So either you is or you ain't. And I did give myself a personal ultimatum. If this person hasn't done this by this time, it's time for me to move forward. So
Yeah.
you're not really giving another. You're not projecting your ultimatum on anybody, but you're doing it for yourself. You're like, for myself, for my time, I'm only gonna give you this much of my time. I don't have a lot of time to waste.
And then too, they're only 3 hours apart. They're not like they're fucking eight. Oh, I shouldn't have cursed. I'm sorry. Not like they're 10 hours apart. Tanya says, LMAO, we all have the same face. Yeah, because that's bullshit. And you ain't gonna get back by. You have me on a damn string. Mika says she should break up, not because of the cheating, but because of his lack of respect and willing to commit. You are absolutely correct. Lack of respect. And respect is a huge thing. He has no respect for her. To find that crusty ass cloth in the freaking back seat, and then you're gonna tell me you did it for us, you
But
ah
don't you think when you're with someone for a long time, the rope, you say cut the string, but it's not a string anymore when you've been with someone for a year and then 2 years, 3 years, it becomes a rope. And
okay.
that shit is hard to cut.
I understand that, but now you're making me look like a bullheaded. Like I'm what? Like I look stupid. First of all, 4 years. This is 4 years of my life, and for 2 years you spoke about marriage. What the? Now I have to ask myself, I need to go to therapy because I need to figure out what the hell's wrong with me that I would allow someone to mistreat me.
Yeah.
No, what is it about this ninja that she can't let go? Because I mean, she was sexing him, and apparently that shit didn't work. And I don't even think it's about her, really. I think a lot of times as women, we make it about us. Like something must be wrong with me because he cheated on me. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I'm not sexy enough.
I know.
We always make it about ourselves instead of looking at it like this. He's just not a person that's a good person. He cannot commit.
Yeah.
Maybe his mama thinks he's cool because that's his mama, but I think he's trash because you can't commit. And I'm not. Tanya, and I'm not going to let uh, Jew, Gentile, man, woman, child mistreat me. I'm just not. You're not going to create internal wars in me. I'm not going to go home and have anxiety because your ass refused to commit. Because, see, sir, there's another man around the corner they will do what you won't do.
Right around the corner, baby.
I
Right
mean,
Well,
and
around
I
the
most women
corner.
understand.
don't believe that. I'm sorry. I'm just being devil's advocate. Well, really telling the truth. A lot of women don't believe that. That's why they stay so long, because they may have taken a long time to find this guy. Now this guy is really talking about marriage, and I don't know what's out there. I don't know how old this woman is. I don't know if I'm 38 or 32 or 25, but she's running out of time. And she's like, okay, so I'm gonna have to invest another 4 years in a new man. So I don't even
Mhm.
think it's about him. It's about you having to start over. And we don't want to do that.
Yeah, that happens a lot of the time. Where people are like, yeah, because I know for myself, I don't like dating. I don't enjoy it. I don't like to get to know different people. This shit is, oof. Mm-mm. But at the same time, I wouldn't allow somebody to mistreat me and make me feel some type of way. I'm talking about if somebody is like this situation. This is blatant.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
blatant.
What's
And
that
I
old
agree with
saying?
him. It is a rope, but you're literally taking that rope and hanging yourself with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are. I mean, I can understand given. I mean, could they move past this? I think if he was honest, maybe. But he's saying he did it for us. See, I wouldn't be able to get past you. You did it for me. So you got your penis sucked for me. Oh, thanks.
That's a
I
lie.
think,
I think we've all come to the conclusion that that's a lie. So I
yeah.
don't. I don't think. I think if she did marry him, it wouldn't work.
You're gonna, yeah, because if she leaves the house for 2 hours,
He may get lonely.
you make it
Um,
lonely.
Yeah, she said she was gonna be there in a week, and then he couldn't even wait a week.
yeah.
Or
It's
even
almost,
like, who
it's like
can?
that old adage. What does it say? If someone shows you who they are, believe it. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's
Absolutely.
showing you exactly who he is. This is who I am.
But then at the same time, is there relationships after infidelity? Could you have a relationship? Is it doable?
Yeah. I
No.
think
Oh
so. I've
yes,
seen it happen.
yeah, I believe it.
Is this relationship, could they salvage it? Do you guys think?
Y'all
Yes.
know what I think. Nope. Mm-mm. I don't think. I
Yep.
don't think he's gonna marry her. So what is there to salvage?
Mm. Because I mean, that's 4 years. They've been together for 4 years. Four. She has to be a young chick, though. This can't be a woman our age. I hope so.
It
I
might
hope not.
be. Maybe that's the reason why she's holding on so tight because she is older. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, too. Like Felicia said, maybe she don't want to start over. A lot of people don't want to start over. The
They'll
worst thing
stay,
is to
they'll
be
stay
in.
with Rusty Crusty.
Mm. But nowadays people are getting divorced when they're actually in their 50s and 60s. It's
Really?
getting more and more common. Yeah, it's getting more and more common because people say, "Well, I'm not going to deal with this shit when I have this amount of time left." Let me read Kisha's comment. Our girl hair game wasn't as superb as the. Oh, hey, maybe since she wasn't around and they wasn't hunching, he couldn't wait. Yes, the relationship can be salvaged. But that trust thing, though, once you break trust, I know for me, like once trust is broken, I no longer feel safe. And if I don't feel safe, it is not going to work. It'll be very hard for me to, um, yeah, no, I don't think it's me. Please don't let me find out. Hide the clock.
But you can always rebuild trust, though. Trust can always be rebuilt.
I agree. It can be rebuilt. I'm talking for me, though. I don't know about that.
Rabia, you wouldn't. You would
Hey,
not.
let me ask you something. Would I get back with Nick?
No, forget it. No, no.
Girl, never. I always
Ever.
tell my sister-in-law, if I ever come to you all and say to you, hey, I'm thinking about getting back
No.
with you, that is witchcraft. That is not the Lord. That's the
I
devil.
know.
Okay?
Somewhere you are in a trance.
That is not Jesus. That is Diablo.
Something is going on, sister.
No, something's wrong. No. Because to me, it's like you don't eat vomit. Especially when someone does you that wrong. I mean, it's not to say you don't forgive somebody. I can forgive you, but I don't mean I need to reconnect with you. A Facebook user, I'm not sure who this is, says relationships are salvaged every day from the ruins of infidelity if both parties choose to. The question is if both parties are willing to do it. Yeah, if both parties are willing to do. But you see, my thing is this: I'll probably bring up this shit every week. Or I mean, whenever I thought about it. And then if you're gonna make it work, you can't keep talking about it.
Now our friend, our mutual friend, now
Uh-huh.
their relationship worked, right? But and she had to go through the process of bringing it up every day. Every day she would bring it up. Every day she would cry. Every
Why?
day she would, because she was so hurt behind it, but she wanted her marriage to work.
So wait, she brought it up what she did or what he did?
What he did every
What?
day.
Oh, you mean before this last time? Okay, okay, anyway, don't matter for the timeline.
Okay, Doc Robbie.
Okay, because I'm trying to understand. You can't bring up anything, sweetheart. I mean, I'm just saying. Tanya
Okay.
says that's you can't forget, but you can forget, but won't forget. I'm selfish in not forgetting. I will work on. There's a lot of things in my life I've had to forgive people for, right? And as we know, forgiveness and healing, there's a maintenance side to healing. You will feel those emotions, and it's how you manage those emotions when you feel it, right?
Hmm.
So that's the part, the maintenance side of healing. There are some things I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if I can. It would take the Lord saying, Arabia, Jesus will have to sit at the edge of my bed because, baby, mm, I don't know because that trust thing is huge for me, and it's a respect thing, a trust thing. You don't honor me that you could put your penis in somebody else or put your mouth on somebody else, and then you want to kiss me after that? Hey, sir, disease is real. Oh.
I did ask my husband, I was like, hey, if I cheated on you, could you forgive me?
What did you say?
No,
I think it's
no,
different.
I couldn't. It would be over. I couldn't. I couldn't get past it.
Would
I
you
was like,
forgive him? Would you stay with him?
no, I couldn't. It'd be too hard. I've seen someone go through that and I couldn't do that. Putting a GPS tracker on your husband and
Is that what you would do though? You
no,
think
that's why I could not stay. I wouldn't, I don't think I could do that. I would have to be in the same boat as Robbie, like the Lord would have to come down, like Joseph marry that woman. I'd have to have that kind of dream. And me and my husband, we both have talked about that. And we were like, no, I
Because,
can't.
baby, my anger will run hot every damn day. You may wake up, you may have sweet Robbie, but other days you may wake up, I ain't gonna say shit to you. I couldn't live like that. That's no, I can't have not have peace. I need to have peace. You can have peace with whoever else you're gonna end up with, but it's not gonna be me. I just can't do it. Because as a woman, if a woman cheat on a man, he is not staying. Because I've heard my brother say, ain't nobody gonna park in my garage. And I was like, oh. He said, nah. He said, because the thoughts, like for men, I think it's different. For the thought of that another man was inside his woman, no. But I mean, like, I know when I was growing up, down the street, there was a woman that a family member used to go visit. And then they would come home. And the person involved, she wouldn't say anything to him. She would go make his plate, cook his food, feed him. Hey, now as an adult woman, I think about it, I'm like, damn, she did not, I never heard them arguing about it. That is not healthy. I can't imagine what she must have been feeling.
She
Maybe that's
just
why she's so pissed off now.
she just accepted it. You just
but
get to that
culture,
point of acceptance, right?
but culture dictated that too, though. So there was a
Mm.
lot of that. Because I remember when I told her, I said, I'm not happy in my relationship when I was married, and she said to me, "You're gonna have to stay. You have children. Didn't matter what was going on. You're gonna have to stay because you have children." Because I got to thinking, baby, you in the U.S. of A, honey. You got freedom. I am free, and you living like you bound. Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, as people, not because women cheat too. Let's be honest, women
Yeah,
cheat,
women cheat too. Yeah.
and I mean, well, we know women cheat. So, and there's some men that take them back, and I commend that because, phew, that's tough.
Well, I read a study that said men usually don't cheat because of the emotional aspect of it.
Hmm.
They just for
Maybe,
the physical part. That's why men cheat. But women cheat because of the emotional aspect of it.
and that's worse.
That's not necessarily true. I know some women who've cheated because of the physical part of it.
Really?
Really?
Their husband were not physical with them, and it was kind of a domino effect of him cheating.
So she was
Hmm.
trying to get him back in a
I don't
sense.
think so much as getting back. I think it was more of I'm not getting it from here. He's getting it from somewhere else, so I'm gonna get it from somewhere else too.
So they were not having sex. So
Right,
okay. So yeah, I can see that.
right.
Are they
Wow.
So I
still
mean,
together?
each one of these situations is like a snowflake. They're very different, you know.
Are they still together?
No,
I wouldn't think so. Because maybe I'm gonna
no,
get you back. If you even look at Betty, I'm gonna look at Bob. Shit. Like like tit for tat. But see, if you want a relationship to have like work out, you can't do tit for tat.
no.
So because you done put your penis in somebody else, I must open my legs. I'm not gonna do that. Because
Right,
two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I'm saying? Like who then that disease thing? You don't mean disease, baby.
You're
right.
all about the disease, aren't you?
I don't even think people think about that anymore like they used to. And I think that the thing with AIDS and these STDs, people are not like I remember growing up seeing commercials about AIDS and protected sex and all that. We don't see that anymore.
Mm-mm.
And I don't think that I think they've kind of been put on the back burner, but those things are still real. I mean, you really can get AIDS and you really
Y'all,
can get, a disease. Uh,
herpes.
but we don't
Yep.
talk about it like we used to.
Mm-mm.
Let me tell you, y'all. I was mentoring this young lady, right? And she called me one day crying from the clinic. Okay, she
Wow.
was crying. It was maybe a Tuesday, right?
Hmm.
Then a couple days go by. She calls me again. I was like, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm cool." "What you mean you cool?" I said, "You have a disease that's incurable, and when you give it
Wow.
to the next person, now you're going to tell them, right?" You know
Right.
what she said? "Oh, there's medicine for that."
Oh, wow.
So you can take medicine that suppresses your outbreaks.
Right.
Yeah, there's medicine,
I
but
mean, maybe that's why they don't talk about it.
in some of those cases, it doesn't go away. You'll be taking medicine forever.
Listen, because I even worked with a guy that actually was HIV positive, and he told me he said he was, but it's not detectable because he takes this medicine. And I mean, he was so free. I mean, he was
Yeah.
so people are so free. It's like I would be like it's a death sentence, you know. But now they have things in place where
Yeah, it's not death sentence anymore.
And yeah, it's not a death sentence anymore, but do you want it?
hell no, because I'm gonna explain.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain that. Oh, baby, I was with Bobby Joe, and hell, now I must have this conversation. What if it doesn't work out with baby, and then he's the next dude? I must tell the next. I mean, it's just the trauma of having to re-explain, and maybe you didn't do anything. Maybe you were the girlfriend or the wife or whatever there was,
Right.
and then somebody does that to you.
Right. It's life changing.
It is. I was listening to a woman that was saying that um, a guy gave her herpes. She had no outbreaks, but she felt there was something wrong in her body, and she went to the doctor. And the doctor refused to do a blood test because they test your blood for herpes. Because sometimes you don't have an outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And when she insisted, she went to different doctors. Then they tested her and found out she had herpes. And she said she could feel like under her skin, she could feel you know, something was wrong.
Wow.
So yeah, and I mean, no one thinks about it. And I think for me, it's always on top of my mind because my uncle died of AIDS and he suffered, y'all. Like when I was growing up, he was an alcoholic. And every Friday he would get dressed, y'all, and he would go in his white suit and go get him some beaches. Okay. He'll tell you, I'm gonna get some beaches. And he got sick. And the way he died was awful. It was just
Wow.
awful. That was like looking at him, and he was my favorite uncle, looking at that, the way he suffered.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, mm-mm, that came from me. And that was like a wake up call for my brothers too, because they were hitting all them chicks in the neighborhood. And after that, they stopped because you just, AIDS in South Africa is very prevalent.
Yeah.
You know, Tanya says this conversation about disease is so real and very scary. It is, guys. And nothing to, have you ever read, I've mentioned this before, a book called Sperm Wars? And it
Mm-mm.
says that when a man ejaculates in a woman, his DNA becomes part of her DNA. So like you almost like imprinted, baby. Let's not talk about the spiritual. your seed in my body forever, ever, ever, and we
Forever.
just hook up. Eh? Oh hell no. We were just casual, and your seed is now with me forever. And I don't even like your personality or your ass. I wouldn't have kids with you.
But you know, in college, that's casual sex is a big thing in college now.
Yeah.
Casual sex is such a big thing. I remember Shelby was telling me, she was like, Mom, everybody's hooking up in college. Everybody is. And she told her friends, she was like, Aren't you afraid of a soul tie when you have sex with all these guys? And her friend was like, It's just sex, Shelby. It's it's recreational, you
Well,
know?
keep you're not their mama, so they don't know. Because a lot of if you think about the way people are raised, like if you talk to your kids, they're not teaching their children about that. A lot of people because they don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So they're
mean,
okay with recreational sex.
Mm-hmm.
Recreational sex is just something you do. You're not emotionally tied to that person. You're just having an afternoon with them. That's the thing now. And that's sad.
Tanya said that's the biggest reason to act right is disease. I mean, you know,
No diseases.
listen, they will keep your legs crossed at the ankles, okay?
None, no diseases.
And the thing about it, the people will walk because the person I told you that has herpes, the young lady, you will never. I mean, never. You looking at her, just looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like mark on your forehead. You would never say. I'm like, whoo. And after she cried about it, she was so nonchalant about it. I still sometimes think about it like, girl, very nonchalant. Just like I was like, oh, it's
Yeah,
just a
but
Tuesday.
maybe her is she younger than us?
Oh yeah, that's another reason too, though.
Yeah, because I'm like her. When we heard you have HIV or you're AIDS, we're like you dead in a matter of time.
Hmm.
Well, they don't get that same message because there are people that are open and out about having AIDS and living with AIDS, and it's not so much a death sentence anymore. But I know when I was growing up, that's you didn't even want to be around. I mean, I'm just being honest. You didn't
Yeah,
want
that's
to
true
be
though.
around anybody that had AIDS. Less known, sleep with somebody that says, "Oh, I have AIDS, but it's undetectable." It was like, "Oh, okay."
You're like, I
Like,
wish
man, I don't think so.
in
Mm.
all
No.
your endeavors, may the good Lord bless and keep you. That ain't me. I bid you adieu. I mean, really, even like when we were growing up, kissing was not a big deal. But now it's like, hey, you can get herpes in the mouth if somebody
well,
has, you know.
well, I had a girlfriend who's she's our age and she's dating, and she says the men she dates, they don't kiss. Now it's not a kissing thing because the things that people do now, you don't want to kiss anybody that you don't really know,
Oh, wow.
right?
Yeah, that's true
Because
though.
they do a
Really?
lot of sexual things that.
Yeah, because people's mouth are like puppies' mouths. They lick their own asses. Well, not their own asses, but they're licking everybody else's asses.
Yep.
And then another thing too, when because when the dudes or people come and try your inbox and they want to tell you what they want to do with their mouth, you like really? How many
No.
other women you send the same messages? I was just like,
I
sir,
know.
Yeah.
because
Maybe.
Exactly.
you leading with that, like that's like, oh, okay, thanks.
Right.
But I mean, that happens very frequently. But like you said, Felicia, damn, you got a puppy mouth, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No nasty ass. But you know what, y'all? It is the older guys that are the worst. It's like,
Oh
damn.
yeah. I
What did
think
you
some
say
of these
about the
men
older
don't
guys,
think.
Robbie? They have one foot in the grave, so they want to.
Don't be saying what I said. No. We were talking before the show, and I was like, these old, I'll say men because you told my men, your one foot is ready on your way to meet Jesus, but you like, I'm gonna get this one in now because
That's why they pay for it because you cannot tell me a 20 something woman finds a 70-year-old man attractive physically. This just doesn't happen.
I
So
mean, yeah.
they pay for it.
And especially if dude ain't working out or taking care of himself, and
Yeah.
your titties are by your freaking like nipples, sir, like they're down here, and you just and then you don't have all your teeth. I mean,
Right.
whoo, child. I remember sitting in a bar one time, and this guy literally shuffled towards me. He shuffled. He didn't walk. Nigga shuffled.
Wow.
And I was like, Lord, if I've been mocked, is this what I'm attracting? What the? I mean, you can't even feel good about yourself. Self esteem wasn't helped. I was just like, he was
No, no.
no, but no, I'm not kidding. He was like, I just had to shoot my shot. I had to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember way years ago, I would tell my girlfriends if we went out, if the guy that has one tooth, he's gonna find me. All the men in the club, the guy with the one tooth is gonna find me.
I mean, like the one that's on his way out.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm like, hey, come on now.
Yeah.
Uh, Mika says the older men shock me. They're bold and nasty. Yes, they
Mhm.
are. The 50 plus men are just getting it in just as much as the 20-year-olds.
Yep.
And it's true. Like you would think, I would like to think that you got all your soul, wild oats out in your young age.
No, they're
I don't
doing.
that's not true.
Mm-mm.
We're surrounded by men and women that do not have wisdom. It's just such a lack of wisdom and making very poor decisions. Like you have all this time in the world to get it right, and you really don't. We're not thinking about there is a life after this. We just think as far as our noses, and that's
Mhm.
it. That's
Well,
just
the men, they go through their midlife crisis, I think a lot of the times. And that's why a lot of the people our age, well, late 40s and 50s are getting divorced. I know 5 people that were married around the same time as me and my husband. I don't know all of them individually directly, but most of them that I know, they're divorced now because the husband is like, I'm living my best life. I want to
maybe.
get out there and have fun, and they no longer consider their wife fun, or exciting enough.
Yeah. My friend, her husband divorced her, but he told her he just wanted something different. I've been with
Yeah.
you for 20 plus years.
Hmm.
I want to live, I want something different.
I gave you children. I got fat. You use my vagina. My elasticity is gone. And then
Yes.
you tell me, mother, that you want a 20-year-old. Oh,
Yep.
okay, good luck. Because when you get sick, let's see if she can take care of you.
Nope.
I
These
was,
young women are not having it. These young women are
Mhm.
about the bag. They're like, I want to get paid. If he don't, first of all, if he's leaving her, I hope he has money, because if you don't have money, you're not getting a very young woman.
They want to get taken care of. Car no
Hmm.
paid, the house paid. No,
Hmm.
No,
like
he left her with money. I mean, he had money.
Yeah,
He set himself up.
okay.
Yes.
because they're not
But
going to be a nurse.
30 years, he was like, I'm out. I want something different. She was shocked. She
Wow.
thought they had a great marriage, great
Wow.
sex life. Shocked. It was like, what?
That was the worst though when you don't see it coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
That's the
is.
worst.
But I
Because
think you do. I think I've been married long enough that I may not want to see it coming, but the behavior at some point had to change.
Hmm.
Whether it was the sex, whether it was the conversation, something has to change, because you can't give 100% to your wife and 100% to your mistress. Somebody's gonna, somebody's picking up the slack, and so you're gonna, somebody you can, just like you can't serve two masters. You're gonna love one more than the other. So it's gonna be something there that you like. On hindsight, I bet she says, "Yeah, you know what? He started acting strange, or he stopped
yeah,
wanting to go to the movies, or he stopped wanting to do, something will change. I think there will be
agree.
something, but it probably may not be big enough or warrant a lot of attention, but something does change.
No, I agree because if you look back at it, maybe you didn't see it in the moment, like you're saying, but when you reflect, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, he wasn't wearing his, tidy
Right.
whities anymore. Or
But
what?
but this friend, I asked her, I'm like, did your sex life change? She was like, nope, nope.
So he was just
And I
a
was like,
Did they
did he
have a
work?
sex life?
She said they did. She said it was great. They had a
Oh
great
wow.
sex life. She said he walked in one day and he was like, I don't want to do this no more. And she's like, do what? Like, you don't want to go to a lake house this weekend? Or he's like, no, I don't want to do this marriage thing anymore.
Hmm.
Jesus. Ben says
And
something
she was like,
for
no. She got
daddy.
on her knees begging the dude, please don't
Wow.
leave me. You know, their
They,
kids were grown. Their kids were grown. It was just
Wow.
them in the house.
mm-mm.
Wow.
Just so y'all know, if y'all see me on TV on Snapped, I'm not going. Somebody's got to die to get out of this one. There is no just we walking away. No, we said to death do us part, and I'm
Somebody
walking away.
dying.
I think I know for me, like in this next phase of my life, the same decisions I made before I won't make again because I work on myself.
Right.
Like there's no freaking way I could choose a man that I chose in my youth. Like there's no way.
Mm-mm.
Because I recognize the signs now. And something a friend of mine told me, I'll never forget this. She said, Rabia, she said, whoever you end up with, make sure whatever they have, because everybody has something. It's something you can live with. And if you can't live with it, let him go. And that's very true. What can you live with? But
Right.
are
That's
you willing to
that's
work with
that's
them?
good advice.
Yeah, are you willing to work with them? If
Hmm.
not, don't waste their time and be honest
Hmm.
about where you are, where you stand, and all that stuff. Ben
Yeah.
says, wow, that's sad. It is sad, shoot.
Yeah,
Because
I
so
agree. I think we go into marriage, some of us women, as fix it. But I heard, not before I got married, but I heard a lady give her testimony about her marriage, and her dad said, if he is the same man he is today, 10 years from now, would you marry him? If nothing about him changes. And I think we get so, as women, we can fix that. Or, because I've even heard women say, all he needs is a little haircut and some nice clothes.
not
No,
about that.
no,
Mm.
you can't fix
Mhm.
anybody. This is what you get. Like,
That's
can you
what you
live with
get.
that forever?
Mika says, great advice, what you can live with. Because there's no perfect person. Because if you're looking for perfection, I don't know what that emoji is, honey, because I can't see that emoji. Um, I know, like, I've learned a lot about myself in this phase of my life. Yo, I was terrible in the past, honey. Temper ran hot. I mean, and so I overreacted for a lot of things, but also I wasn't the wife that I should have been, if I'm honest, because I was stay triggered. I didn't feel safe. So I didn't, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying where I was, that's what it was. I didn't feel safe. But you know my situation, Kim. So I
Yeah.
just didn't feel, and I was awful. And I knew that after I got divorced that I needed time to heal because I was not going to do the same thing or treat the person I'm with because of my ex. Like I knew that I was going to get to the point where he no longer moved me. Because once he could no longer move me, even in anger, or maybe sometimes like he'll irritate me now, but it's not, I don't have the energy to now even cuss you out because I really don't care. And my kids are old enough now where they can text him, you don't need me to talk about what, unless
Right.
somebody is in trouble or we really have to talk.
Hmm.
And even in that, y'all, if I have to talk about my son, especially, oh well, what were you doing? Okay, see, then I realized I can't deal with him. So I cut that part off. I don't ask you for anything. As far as I have a brother, I have male, figures in my son's life that will give me advice. Because let's be honest, a woman cannot raise a son. You can't. If
I
you think
agree.
you can, you cannot. You can raise him to a certain point, but I cannot teach my son manly things. That's why I have my brother that helps with certain things. Certain conversations I'm not effective in having.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to even try. Because sometimes they'll tell me, Mom, I don't want to talk about that. Why? Am I making you uncomfortable? Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. I mean, I used to wipe your bum. So I'm not uncomfortable. But I have to respect that he's 14 now anyway. So, I have to respect him. I mean, because there's some conversation I want to have. I showed him some pictures, y'all, of some diseases. See, if you put this thing somewhere, this is how it's going to look.
Wow.
Because you have to be honest. Because I told him, I said, some little girls when ask you, can they suck your thing under the stairwell? And that's reality.
Right.
And so I've had these conversations, but it wasn't effective because he probably was zoning out anyway, like, oh my God, my mother's talking to me about. But when I showed him the pictures, it got his attention. Oh gosh. Ooh. But I couldn't continue having that conversation with him though.
The
But
girls
guys,
are aggressive, though. The girls now are more aggressive than we ever were. Like, they're very aggressive.
listen.
Be.
They call my son daddy. I because I go through my phone because it's my phone. They call him. I'm thinking, do you know what his room looks like and his body? Oh, baby, and his hygiene. You me calling him daddy?
Yeah, they're very aggressive.
They
They
call each other wifey.
And
It's
you know what I
crazy.
noticed too? When they're talking amongst themselves in their texts, that there's a lot of sexual innuendos and also same sex. They're
Hmm.
like tease each other. And I'm like, you all know this is like not okay, right?
right.
Like, because I'll call a mama. I called my son's mother one time. I mean, not his mother, but his best friend's mama. Do you know that you and my son talk about this?
Wow.
And I wasn't blaming her son because let's be honest. Sometimes we want to think like our kids are the best and they the shit. The preacher's kids, y'all know, is the worst.
yeah.
You already know. So I already know. Me, I don't say, oh well, my kid would never, because that's the one they will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the enemy wants to show you, oh, all those prayers you've been praying. See what he's doing. You know him how that works, girl.
I know.
Guys, this has been so interesting. We could do part 2, 3, and 4. Felicia, thank you so much for coming and
Thank you
joining
for
us.
having me. I
We-
enjoyed it. It's very
We'd
fun.
love to have you again. Don't hang up immediately so we can talk after the show ends. I have some questions for you that I'd like to ask,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
No.
Um, you guys, any last thoughts? Final thoughts?
Yes, leave him.
Let that ninja go,
Go.
baby. Love yourself enough to let him go.
Yes.
Because maybe, anyway, I don't want to talk about her because she pissed me off anyway. What about you, Felicia? Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I had a word of advice from somebody. It's so practical, but it's like you first. And it's like a lot of the times we don't put ourselves first. And in this instance, she didn't put herself first
Mhm.
because even on the plane they tell you put your mask on first before you
Exactly.
try to help somebody else. So I think this is one of those instances she needs to put herself first and her needs first before she if she hadn't already she knows the decision to make, but
Yeah.
think about you first, him
I
last.
agree. I agree. Absolutely. I think a lot of times we want relationships and love a certain way, but we haven't even given ourselves that same kind of love or the
Right.
same kind of care or that respect. And then you want to give it to another human being. You can't unless you show yourself that. And I learned that in this season of my life to love myself enough to walk away. If
Yeah.
I say to a guy, this is my expectation, this is what I want, and he says, hey, I want you to be my hoe. Well, then I'm gonna walk away because
Yeah.
I'm a wife. Like you're supposed to know these things about yourself. Like
Yes.
this is my standard. And I'm not talking about shit that's off the chain. No, I'm talking about just basic shit.
Basic
Okay.
stuff.
Basic stuff.
Right.
You gotta love yourself enough to walk away.
Yeah.
And is it easy? No, it's not, especially when your emotions are involved. But love yourself enough to walk away. That's what I would say.
Mm.
But anyway, guys, thank you for watching us. We will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.